Hi friends, it's Jennifer from Live, Laugh, Love to Read. Today I'm going to be doing a book review on, have you seen Louis Velez by Catherine Ryan Hyde? So I read this on my Kindle and it was good. I'm giving it, I want to say 4 stars, but maybe a little bit less than that. I really enjoyed it. I really like Catherine Ryan Hyde. I'm slowly making my way through her books. And her books are kind of those just feel-good books. They always have something, something in it that just makes you feel good. So let me read you the synopsis off my phone. So Raymond Joffe feels like he doesn't belong. Not with his mother's new family. Not as a weekend guest with his father and his father's wife. Not at school where he's an outcast. After his best friend moves away, Raymond has only 2 real connections. To the feral cat he's tamed and to a blind 92-year-old woman in his building who's introduced herself with a curious question. Have you seen Louis Velez? So Raymond is, I want to say 16. And he lives in, I want to say they're in New York. And they live in, a brownstone or building, that has a bunch of apartments in it. He lives upstairs with his mother and stepfather and their kids. And then, so he feels left out. Also, they're white and he's half black. So, yeah, there's that. So he feels left out. He doesn't feel like he belongs there. But one day, he is going downstairs to leave, and a little old lady comes to her door, and she's like in her 90s, and she's like, have you seen Louis Velez? Have you seen Louis Velez? Hello? And what he realizes real fast is that she's blind, and he goes and he starts talking to her, and Louis Velez is actually the person, it was a man who helped her. He would take her to the grocery store. He would, help her or take her to the bank and everything, like walk her, to the bank and to the grocery store. Well, she hasn't seen him in quite a few days, 4 or 5 days. And she's getting down to really low groceries because she can't leave by herself because she's very elderly and she's blind. And they live in New York. So there's no way she can just go out into the street by herself. So anyway, Raymond starts talking to her and he decides he's going to start taking her to the bank and to the grocery store because he doesn't have any friends now. His best friend moved away and it was the only friend he had. So it says Mildred, a German Jew who narrowly escaped the Holocaust, has been alone since her caretaker disappeared. She turns to Raymond for help and as he tries to track Louis down, a deep and unexpected friendship blossoms between the two. Despondent at the loss of Louis, Mildred isolates herself further from a neighborhood devolving into bigotry and fear. Determined not to let her give up, Raymond helps her see that for every terrible act the world delivers, there is a mirror image of deep kindness. And Mildred helps Raymond see that there's hope if you have someone to hold on to. Yeah. So it was just a feel-good, uplifting story. But unbeknownst to Mildred, Raymond starts looking for Louis Velez, but he lives in New York, and when he looks in the phone book, there's like hundreds of Louis Velez is. So he doesn't tell Mary that he's looking for him because he wants to know what has happened to him because he feels that he doesn't want to get her hopes up. So he doesn't tell her that he's looking for him. So what he starts doing is first he starts calling. Is this Louis Velez who helps an elderly lady who lives on, such and such street, blah, blah. And most people are like, no. And some people hang up on him, So he starts going door to door. He's got these people's addresses and, he goes door to door. Catherine Ryan Hyde as an author, I just really like her books. They're not major. They're not like, what's the word? They're not they're just feel-good stories. Got a lot of kindness in them, uplifting, I just like them. I really, really like them. So, also, I really like the fact that Raymond is a 16-year-old boy in New York, and he starts taking Mildred to the bank and to the grocery store, and then he comes back and he starts spending time with her, and they become really good friends. And so that was like the best part to me. And then he does end up finding Louis Velez, the right one, and I'm not going to tell you what happened or what happens, but he does end up finding him, and then the story goes from there, talks about his family. And then one thing that I thought was pretty interesting was that a couple of the wrong Louis Velez invite Raymond into their home. One particular family invites him in to eat dinner with them, and then he becomes friends with them. He becomes friends with their daughter, and on and on and on. One is a doctor, and he's every time he goes there, because he starts to become friends with them, the doctor slips money into his pocket without saying anything. And then of course Raymond so he finds a feral cat in an old building, and he tames the cat, and he gets it, and he gives it to Mildred. So every time the Mr. Velez, the wrong one, slips money into his pocket, he buys cat food, and he like a bunch of cat food, and he buys kitty litter, and then he buys food for Mildred and everything. And this is a boy who comes from not a really wealthy family. His mom and stepdad are definitely not wealthy. Now his dad, who he goes to every other weekend, is a dentist, so his dad does have money and does give him money, from time to time. But Raymond is so unselfish, so giving, and so kind that I really, really, really liked him. And I just really liked how he talked to Mildred. I liked how he presented himself and everything. And it's just a really nice young man, which is hard to find nowadays. And I know this is just a character in a book, but you know what? I liked him. So, there's that. So, I'm not going to tell you how it ends, but just want to say that this was just one of them feel-good, uplifting books, and I really liked it. I'm going to say 3.8. Yep, 3.8. Not 3.5 stars, or not quite 4, but 3.8. And I don't know if I mismade up that, but I gave another book a 3.8, and someone questioned me in the comment section. I was like, what does that even mean? And I'm like, well, I didn't want to give it 3.5, and I didn't want to give it 4. So I said 3.8. What's wrong with that? I think it's fine. But anyway, Jennifer says 3.8. Catherine Ryan Hyde. Have you seen Louis Velez? Very good. I liked it. And I don't know if you've seen any of my other videos, but I did I've read some other books by Catherine Ryan Hyde. I read Allie and Bee. That was really good. And I read another one, but I can't remember what it's called at this moment. But I would highly recommend Catherine Ryan Hyde. If you like those kind of books, like I said, they're slow paced. They're just a feel-good book. There's nothing major happening in them. But after you read it, you're just like, aww, Anyway, that's all I have to today. If you like this book, review, give me a like, and a subscribe. And don't forget to check back for more book videos coming up. My mind is just everywhere today. I don't know why. Yeah, sometimes I get like that. Like, squirrel. And I'm really a big dork, so yeah. My daughter, who is 26, her name's Bethany, she's all the time like, Mom, why are you going to be so weird? I'm like, I don't know, I'm just me. I'm just me. And you ought to be used to it by now. You know me for 26 years. Right? Anyway, that's all I got for today. Thanks, friends. I'll see you next time.